Hi everyone. So I'm running quite a bit late here today. We had a really late night, so obviously that turned into a late morning. But typically I'm doing these at 9 a.m. I did Mondays at 9, so Fridays will be at 9. Unfortunately, this morning just got away from me. But anyway, I am super excited to talk about this lesson with you. This is probably one of my favorite lessons that we're going to be doing, and it's about giving value and educating your audience. So we hear a lot, people say, bring value to your audience, bring value to your followers, but they never really explain what that means. So today I'm explaining exactly what it means to bring value to your audience. Now, I've talked about this before on my business page, but I'm going to talk about it again here, especially for those who missed it or didn't see it or who are new to this group and to following me. For those who don't know me, I'm Brittany. I'm the CEO of Lee and Minton Virtual Assistants, and this is my group focused on content creation. So, anyway, I the I learned this tip last year, and it really has totally changed my marketing and the way that I've started developing relationships in this online world. And it's it's just fascinating because when it comes to giving, we think value, we think educate, and we think we have to give away something for free. And while yes, we're technically giving something away for free, you don't want to give away what you're trying to sell for free. You don't want to teach people how to do what you do for free. So, especially if you're a service provider. So, when it comes to giving value to your audience, when it comes to educating your audience, the one thing you want to focus on is you want to focus on what they need to have or know before they can work with you. So, no matter what industry you're in, your clients and your audience need to know or have something before you can work with them. So, and this is even if you're in like product sales. So say you're selling jewelry or makeup or clothes. I know Susan, she's in this group. She sells jewelry. So you sell jewelry and you your audience, what they need to know before they can purchase jewelry from you is they need to know what size and length of jewelry that they're going to need to have. That's one big thing you could educate your audience on and give them value without having to give them a discount on your products or, give away a product for free. For service providers like myself, copywriters, the one thing that I teach a lot of in my blogging, on my business page, is that what my clients need to know before they can work with me is they need to know the purpose of the content they are asking me for. They need to know who their audience is, and they need to know what the product or service is that they're selling. And it's because of that I created my checklist, the 7 things you need to send your copywriter. Because when my clients come to me and they don't know these 3 things, one, it makes my job a lot harder. I have to do a lot more research. 2, it's not guaranteed that they're going to like or love even what I wrote for them, because since they were uncertain, I became uncertain too. And thirdly, if a lot of times if I don't have the answers to those questions, I can't write anything for them. So while I can go and I can do some of the research on those things, like I can look into who their audience is on their social media and things like that. I can look into, you know, what they've previously put out to determine somewhat of their purpose, but what the product is or the services that they are trying to sell with the piece of copy I'm writing for them, I can't just pull that out of thin air without them telling me what it is. So, and that's going to be true not just for copywriters, but also website designers, branding experts, and marketers. So all four of us right there, we share an audience. We work with a lot of the same people, and we require a lot of the same information in order to be able to help them. Now, coaches can be pretty hard to figure out what exactly you can do in terms of giving value to your audience without giving away what you're coaching on them on for free. And I actually wrote a blog post for this. It'll be going up today, just like on Monday, where the blog post went up. But when it comes to coaches, what coaches need to remember when it comes to their clients and their customer base, their audience, coaches need to remember that not everybody who comes into contact with them, good morning, Megan. Not everybody who comes into contact with them is going to be the right fit for them. So they need to, one, teach their audience how they coach so that their audience can understand if they're a good fit for them. But also they need to teach their audience how to figure out what they need in a coach, as well as how to be mentally prepared to achieve those goals in order for it to work whenever they do hire a coach. So coaching, because a coach isn't going to do things for you. A coach just walks you through the steps that you need to take in order to achieve something. They cheer you on, they're your cheerleader. But if you're not mentally ready to take on those steps, your coach isn't going to do anything for you. So when it comes to coaching, those are the things you want to do to bring value to your audience, and without giving away what you're coaching on. So, and I go into a little bit more detail of that in the blog post that'll go up later today. So those are the things that I want you to be thinking about. No matter what it is you do, no matter what it is you sell, I want you to start thinking today about what it is that you do or that your audience needs to have or know before they can work with you. Look at the people that you've previously worked with or who have approached you to work with them but didn't hire you, or you didn't feel were going to be a good fit, so you didn't help pull them through your process. Think about what it is they didn't need or have. And I'm not talking about money either, because people get the money to purchase the services if they are truly ready and determined to do so. Money shouldn't be a factor. What you need to think about is you need to think about the mentality, as well as so with me, it's better if my clients already have a website. They need to have it. Otherwise, what am I making content for? Now, while I can create content for a landing page, say they've just bought the domain and want a landing page, just a simple thing, I can do that. I can do things like that. I can do social media posts for them, write up social media posts for them. I can, and I can write worksheets or PDF files or whatever, printed materials for them. But a lot of what I do, what most people come to me for, is a website content, and then I get requests for blog posts every now and again. But a lot of it is website content and landing pages. And a lot of times, if the person doesn't already have a website set up, me creating that content for them gets a little bit harder. So I talk about that in my marketing as well, on the importance of a website. I also have started talking about the importance of an email list, because I get people who want to send out emails in mass, but they don't really have an email list yet. And that's okay. They can totally come to me without having the email list yet. But I also want more people to come to me as well. And a lot more, the people who really are going to better benefit from my services are going to be those who already have their email list. They already know who that audience is in that email list. And so since that's more of the people that I want to be working with, those are my ideal clients, I need to be teaching my current audience who doesn't have an email list what the importance is of an email list, so that way they want to come and hire me. And you're my audience, right? And I'm going to be talking about email marketing on Monday. And that's why. So that's one of the big things, one of the main reasons why I'm going to talk about this entire course. Actually, right now is me giving value to you, my audience, because I want to prepare you to have the things that you need when you hopefully come to me to do your content. So, and I'm going to be honest with you about that. We're all here trying to sell each other's things. That's, I mean, that's for the most part, that's the whole point of these groups here on Facebook, is us wanting to sell to each other, us wanting to help each other, build each other up to grow our businesses by connecting each other with those who we know, who we've met, whether it's in person or elsewhere on the internet. And that's just one of the great things about this, right? Excuse me. So you do want to be able to give something away for free, but the item you're giving away for free, the product you're giving away for free, you want to make sure that it's something that educates your audience so that they can get to the point that they need to be ready to work with you. So I have my checklist, my copywriter checklist, and I will actually share that later today as an example for an opt-in. I actually came across another opt-in yesterday from somebody that was a great example of what I'm talking about right now on making sure that your opt-in is preparing your audience to work with you. So I'll be showcasing that one that a friend of mine posted that she just created, and she's a marketer. So that should be a really useful resource for you as well. But and then I'm going to share my copyright checklist. So what I want you guys to start thinking about today is I want you to think about what your audience needs to know or have before they can work with you. And I want you to write it down. And I'm going to be posting the PDF file for the homework tonight as well, so that you guys can work on this tomorrow if you don't get to it today. But come up with your list of the things that your audience needs to know or have before you can work with them. And then in addition to that, I want you guys to start creating some social media posts geared around these two topics that we've talked about. So Monday we talked about introducing ourselves and building those relationships up. So I want you to create 5 to 10 social media posts that you can use for basically ever, because your introduction is not going to change much at all. And you can even create it as more of a template so that you can change out the pictures, especially if you use Canva. I highly recommend using it because it's so user-friendly. But use whatever system you prefer. But create some 5 to 10 images that are introducing yourself. They're talking about your why, what you do, who you are, all of that. And then I also want you to create 2 or 3 posts that teach your audience something that they need to know or have before they can work with you. So say they need to have a CRM or something before you can work with them. Talk about what a CRM is. Most people don't know what it is. And then create, like, I do posts about what, this is actually more of a introductory post, but I do posts on what copy is all the time, because I don't know how many times people have asked me, what is copy? I don't understand. And basically what copy is, it's the words that you see on like websites, landing pages, sales pages, etc., etc. It is the written words that usually are aimed to sell that you see on a website or on the internet. Technically, it's the same. Technically, copy is also what you might see in a magazine too, but seen as seen as magazines and newspapers are dying out right now, it's not as common anymore, so we don't really say that. But anyway, so moving on. Okay, so I want you to do 5 to 10 introductories. I want you to try and come up with 2 or 3 posts that educate your audience on something that they need to know or have before they can work with you. And if you can't create like a little small post, go ahead and create an opt-in. Create a checklist, create like an infographic. You can create infographics in Canva, just so you know. I learned that recently myself. So go in there, create something. If you can't figure out how to put it in something small for a post, create something bigger, and then create 3 little posts promoting that. And start collecting emails in exchange for it. And I'm going to talk more about email marketing on Monday. I did have somebody ask me a question about the whole address thing when it comes to signing up for something like MailChimp, because there's plenty of free email systems out there, and a lot of them have request an address. I'm going to go into detail about all of that on Monday. There's a lot, so be sure, if you're interested in any of the email marketing stuff, that you are here Monday, because it's going to be huge, the amount of information I'm going to be giving you. In fact, I think yesterday's or Monday's video, we were on here for like 30-40 minutes. That video is probably going to end up being closer to an hour and a half of me talking to you guys. So just be prepared for that. It's a lot of information. But today I want you to focus on figuring out what your audience needs to know or have before you work with them, or they work with you. Create some social media posts educating your audience on what they need to know or have, and create some introductory posts. Because you already did your list of your questions, and those you don't really need to make posts for. You can just use like the little Facebook automatic thing. And actually, I think Instagram has those too now. So, I mean, if you want to, you can go create posts for all those little questions that we made on Monday. But those are really just to start getting you interacting with other people, because you're not going to do well online. You're not going to make money from home if you don't talk to people. That is probably the biggest lesson I have learned in the last couple months myself. While I actually had learned that a little bit before, it really like sunk in recently, that if I don't talk to people, if I don't interact with them, I'm not going anywhere. So, and I'm talking to lots and lots of people lately, and my friends list is growing exponentially. In fact, I have like 20 friend requests sitting in my inbox right now, because I'm like, I don't want to go through and message everybody right now. So I will be doing that this weekend, actually. But I think that's it. I've touched base on everything I wanted to talk about. Opt-ins, they are incredibly important, but you want to make sure that when you create them, you're not giving away something for free. That's part of your main skill set. So, because like it's kind of like selling the cow when you can sell the milk, you know? You just don't want to do it. But I love you all, and I if you have questions, oh, right. Questions. If you have questions, please put them in the comments. I'd love to I love answering the questions, and if I can't fully answer the questions, I will do my best to get to those questions. I had somebody ask a question in one of the threads in the group about coaching units, I believe. It was something along those lines. She used a different word, but she wanted to know like how often. And I'm going to be talking about how often to be posting things, um, and all of that fun stuff next Wednesday. So if you have questions about how often you need to be doing something or sharing something or producing something, well, all of that's going to be answered on Wednesday. Um, her question was a little bit more detailed. It sounded like she was talking about within a course, like that she was selling. So when it comes to things like that, that's really going to be very much audience driven. And we're actually going to be talking a lot about that on Wednesday, because how often most of it really is audience driven as well as your own personal time driven. So it's not, there's no secret formula, honestly. And I'm going to get into that and why there's no real secret um, on next Wednesday. But for now, look into, make your list. I'm going to be posting the PDF later today, as well as the blog post. I can't talk. And if you're catching this on replay, hashtag replay in the comments. It's really nice to see when people are watching. Well, it looks like we had a couple people stop in today. But yeah, anyway, I love you guys, and I will see you Friday. I will be posting Unit 2 today, and it's and doing the homework stuff tomorrow. I'll also be sharing my homework examples this weekend. So, because I'm doing this with you guys. We're doing this together. But anyway, I love you all. Bye.